Okay, Dr. Revis here with Chapter 3 overview. And in Chapter 3, you'll talk about composition of substances and solutions. And basically, you'll be learning what are these compositions of matter made of. And that is what you will pay attention to. What's it composed of? And one of the important features about it is its mass. Okay, and that mass will be related to the formula. And that formula will contain these values, these digits, these coefficients, and these subscripts that you will have to take into account. Now, what you will learn and what you will discover is that chemists read the formulas somewhat backward. The subscript goes from bottom to the left. Okay? So whatever's at the bottom refers to the atom or element to the left side of it. So keep that in mind. Again, in these videos, this is really common conversations with you to get you used to the concept. You'll learn the exact details and the scientific terminology for the things I'm talking about later. Okay? So you'll talk about formula mass, which will have to do with its mass. Your body, for example, has a certain mass. Now, you already know by now that we talk about mass, not weight, because weight is influenced by gravity. But let's say your body has a mass. Okay, so many kgs, mass. That mass is composed of your arms, your leg, your head, and other parts of your body. So it is for formula mass and molar mass, and what's often referred to as molecular weight. So you will learn about this formula mass, you'll learn about molar mass, and you will hear us occasionally refer to it as molecular weight because that term still is often used. Okay? So, but it's a combination of the elements and atoms that come together. You'll learn that. You'll learn about the mole concept, and that's sometimes confusing. But you think of the mole as being this carton, this unit, this carton of eggs, this carton of Pepsi, okay? This carton of items. So when you think of the moles that's what a mole is. It's like this compartment of elements that come together to give you this one single unit. Okay, so you'll learn that about the mole and the mole concept. All right. You'll also learn things about determining empirical formulas and molecular formulas. Empirical formula, you'll discover it's the smallest description you can have for that particular combination of atoms or elements. And you'll discover that the molecular formula will be that which is related to its molar mass. You'll discover all these things. So the key that we want to emphasize, however, is it's the math that you have to do. So you want to get used to doing the math in this chapter. It's going to be very, very important. That brings us to molarity. Molarity will be math. Be moles per liter. Okay? It will be math. And that's what you want to get used to, and you want to get used to ratios and how to deal with those ratios. You'll also learn about combustion analysis, which will take advantage of the math again. And it'll be very important, if I haven't said it already, units are critical. For example, in Chapter 1, we learn about the units, the SI units. You will be putting those units to use in this chapter. You will want to know how to use the SI units. So, in this chapter, again, composition of substances, you'll learn about these compositions, how they come together, how these atoms make these compounds, and you calculate these molecular weights and molar mass or formula mass from these. Keep in mind, molecular weight is an older term that's used. Okay, we typically refer to it as molar mass, but just be aware you'll hear that occasionally. You'll learn about combustion analysis, meaning how do I determine the composition based upon when I combust it, when I burn it. And you'll learn about molarity. How do I prepare these solutions? How do I make my lemonade to a certain concentration so that it's sweet enough and I can enjoy it? And what happens if it's diluted? How can I change that? Okay? And how can I calculate just how much sugar I had in there? You'll learn these kinds of concepts. All right? So that's the overview of the concepts that you'll be looking at. But pay attention to the math and the units. Very, very critical. Math and units. All right? Take care.